Okay.
Hey everybody, John C.
Denise Richards and the lovely Lulu.
Hello. Welcome back to another All Things Home. Denise, good to see you this week.
Good
Hope
to see you,
everything's
John.
going well with you.
Very well. Staying well. And you, John?
So well. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week. Out running around with buyers like crazy right now. Buyers that I'm working with, they're not giving up.
No, as a matter of fact, I think they have found like a whole new path of energy.
Yes, they're renewed. And I'm good with that.
I am too.
Because it's out there.
I feel like they're clamoring now. They want to buy. They want
are
their
clamoring.
homestead. They want their compound. They want their piece of property.
They want to get their feet cemented down and they want to have their own home and not booted out of their home. Because last week we talked about getting booted out of your home. If you're renting a home, there is that chance that the landlord will say, hey, you're out of here. You got to go. And why would a landlord say that? Because they may want to sell their home.
Yeah.
They may want to cash in.
Cash in, sell it.
market's up.
Maybe they want to move back to Florida.
Maybe they want to move back to Florida. Maybe they want the room that you're sleeping in and they want it for themselves.
Yeah,
So
and you're out.
it's understandable. I would too if I was living up north.
True.
I would want to come down here.
True.
And if I had a house that doubled in value, like a lot of them around here have in the last 3 to 4 years, I may want to sell too. You just never know. Good. All right, a lot of mhms today.
You know what, though?
Yes, what,
it
though?
made me think deep thoughts here.
Good,
So
I like those.
when you said that about, you know, the people moving back down here, and something to keep in mind is that the Fed has actually changed the rate system on second home purchases.
What'd they do?
The rate is much higher now on a second home purchase.
Uh-oh.
So in theory, those primary home hunters, the primary residence home hunters,
Yeah.
they have a much better shot. There's
That's
going to be
good.
more inventory available for them.
Maybe that's why they're
based on
clamoring
the
to get back in.
Feds. Yeah, they are clamoring. It's the
Love
word for
clamoring.
today. Clamoring.
The word for the day, clamoring. All right, good. Well, hopefully that encourages some of our buyers out there.
Yeah,
Who have
it's
been
time.
looking.
It's time.
Get back going again.
Get off the
Denise and I'll
fence.
help you. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Let's do it. All right, so that is a plus. So if you want to see more information about a 4 to 5 minute clip on the pros and cons of owning a home and renting a home, because there are pros in renting homes. I won't tell you what those are because those are on the last video. Then watch the last video.
It was
It's there
short
for you.
part of the segment.
It wasn't very long. It was like 20 seconds. Because really, the majority of pros are in owning your own home. You build wealth, and you don't have to move. And there's just a lot of things. All right, enough of that.
Yeah.
So we are thankful. I'm thankful that I own my own home.
Oh, I'm thankful I own my own home for sure.
So there's our thankful thoughts for
No
today.
one can make Lulu and me go anywhere.
You don't got to go. You don't have to go unless you don't make your mortgage payments.
Well, yeah, then the bank is going to have something to say about it.
Then somebody can make you move. But anyway, so yeah, we are thankful for that today. Let's see if we have any letters for Lulu, which, by the way, before we get too far into this, do me a favor, click the like and subscribe button below.
Yeah.
But also hit the like for Lulu. Hit that like for Lulu, not
Likes
for
for
Denise
Lulu.
and I. Nobody likes us.
No, it's
We
likes
like-
for Lulu
we
all
like
the
Lulu.
way.
Hit it. Hit it right now and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. And if you would like to submit a question to Lulu, there is an information box below. You can type in the description a question that you would like Lulu to read to us.
Anything about Southwest Florida, real estate, mortgages, anything.
How
Or
much weight have you lost, John? Because I've lost
How
a lot
did you
of weight.
do it?
How did you do it? That's my next video series, how to lose weight and your hair at the same time. I can teach you how to do both. All right, here's
That
the letter
was
for
good.
Lulu. Let's jump in on this one here
All
real
right.
quick today.
What do we have for Lulu?
Let's see what we got for Lulu
What do
here.
you think, Lou?
Dear Lulu, I've heard you only need a 500 credit score in order to buy a house. Is this true?
I don't know.
Now, this sounds like a question for you because I don't really deal with people's credit scores.
No, you don't.
I send them to you.
That's true. And when I take a look at their credit, I know that that's a very small part of a very big picture. So as an underwriter is reviewing your file, and even the automated underwriter, where we plug all of the information on your application into the machine, and it basically spits out an answer. So
Yeah.
while I could tell you that for a conventional mortgage you need a 640 credit score, I have a guy that I am under contract with right now with a 612 credit score, and I have him approved on a conventional loan.
That's not too bad.
So it's, risk. It's layered risk.
Yes.
The machine is going to look at all the different layers. So in this
Okay.
guy's particular situation, he had a lot of compensating factors.
Interesting.
Big down payment.
Big down payment.
Right? His lack of credit score wasn't for anything recent. So, it's important that you talk to a professional before you just sign off on the idea because you don't think your credit score is high enough.
Yeah, there's no reason for people to think, hey, my credit starts in the low sixes somewhere, so therefore I can never get a house. That's not true.
Not true.
Not true.
No.
Let's say it one more time. Not true.
Not true, not true.
So if somebody has even lower than that, let's say in the 5s, have you ever seen anyone get approved for a home with a credit score where the first digit is a 5?
Absolutely.
Really? Tell us about that.
580 minimum credit score on FHA.
Wow.
Again, with compensating factors and the planets aligning themselves in such a way, it's absolutely possible to get them approved.
Amazing.
Through an FHA, yeah.
So don't give up.
No.
I would say this too. If you have a credit score that is below a 580, a lot of times you can move that up. There are ways to do that. Now, there's companies that you can pay to do that. I think they're kind of, I wouldn't say a scam, more of a scheme. Is what I've heard.
Maybe the grand scheme of things.
Grand scheme of things. So maybe stay away from those unless you know of a good reputable one. But a lot of times you can get your credit score moved up.
Yes, you can. And actually, I help folks with that quite
How do they
often.
do that? What's a good way? Give somebody a tip or two on how to move your credit score up.
Well, you want to keep your credit card balances very low.
Keep them low.
Very, very low. I would say even at 20% of the limit.
Good.
Do
So if your
not
credit
open
card's
up-
$1,000 limit, keep the balance under
$200.
$200.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah. You want to stay away from a lot of installment debt.
What's that?
Like your auto loans, you want to have 1 or 2. You want to make sure that you're not applying for a lot of unnecessary credit,
Good one.
like credit cards. Right?
Like, for instance, store cards. Don't go into Belk's, and because they're going to give you 5% off your purchase and you're going to save $4 that day, don't apply for that credit card if you're thinking of purchasing a home, because
Correct.
they're going to do a hard inquiry.
Very hard inquiry of those stores.
And
Yeah.
your score goes
Right. Yeah.
like that. It makes that noise, too.
The,
and it
the
falls.
3 bureaus absolutely recognize the difference between a responsible hard credit inquiry, like when you need a mortgage home, when you need a mortgage, or a car.
That's
but
right.
certainly not for Macy's or
Clothes,
Dillard's or
shoes,
Old Navy or whatever looks good to you that
Dresses.
way. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Say no to dresses.
Say no to dresses.
Right.
Like John has.
I say no to dresses all the time. Hey, so that's a good point. Let me give you another one I think that's really good. Make your payments on time.
Oh gosh, that's kind of a given, John.
I know, but some people maybe don't know that. There may not be givens out there.
I'm sorry.
Some people
It's
aren't
true.
given to know that.
It's
so
true.
when your payments due, if your house payments due on the 1st of every month, make that payment so your score goes up. Make sure that you make your car payments on time.
Absolutely.
Make sure your credit card payments are on
Absolutely.
time. A little trick I learned years ago is make your credit card payments before they're due, well before they're due, so that it doesn't report that amount. So even better than 20%, pay off that 20% before it reports for your month.
That's awesome for somebody who
I
has
know.
great credit depth. For somebody who
Yes.
doesn't have great credit depth, if the machine is not watching them use the cards responsibly,
Use
it
it.
won't register anything for them.
So they need to use it.
They need to use it.
Keep
Just
using
a
it.
little smidgy poo.
Little smidgy bit.
Little smidgy poo.
Another thing I did a couple years ago when I was thinking about doing some refinancing was I asked all my credit cards to increase my balances.
Your limits.
Limits. There's the word, the limit. So if I had a limit of, fancy limit word, if I had a limit of $1,500, I would ask them to do a limit of, just bump it up a little bit, $2,000, $2,500. Because the credit bureaus want to see that you have a high balance amount.
That's correct.
Isn't
They
that
want
right?
to see that ratio. They want to see that limit to balance owing
Limit.
significant. Yeah.
Significant. Good. I think we lost one of our cameras there for a second. That's right. We're on this camera now for the rest of the
Ooh,
show.
you're in that
Stick with
camera?
us. Don't leave us. So hopefully you have a little bit better understanding of how to get your credit score up right now if it's under a certain point. The other thing too we need to talk about, Denise, is typically what I've heard, tell me if this is right in regards to the question of Lulu, if somebody's credit score is, let's say, a 640, but they can get up to a 680 or a 700, they may get a better interest rate.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
And that's something
I'm
that I
right.
will absolutely help my clients with. Another thing to point out too, folks that do have the struggling credit scores, if they have some things that they think that they should be paying off
Yeah,
because they think it's going to help improve their credit, it may not.
may not.
So
Talk to
please
Denise
talk
first.
to me and I can help counsel you through that.
She's a counselor. You guys didn't know that. She is
let's put
a
my counselor
certified financial counselor. You can pay
Careful.
her $120 an hour,
Careful.
lay on the couch, and she will counsel you on your financial scores. But that's a good point, because years ago when Angie and I bought our house here in Estero, the guy who helped us back then, he showed me, John, don't pay off that card. Just pay it down enough so that your monthly payments are a little bit less.
Yeah.
And that was great advice, because then we were able to get the loan for what we needed to do. So great advice. Any other thoughts on credit scores, FICO scores, anything there we need to hit on real quick?
Yes, one more thing.
Last thing.
So when you are looking at a credit score from your credit card provider, or maybe you are on Credit Karma, remember there's over 25 different FICO scoring models.
That's a lot.
Which is why your score will look different from different resources.
Yeah.
So don't be alarmed if you see one that's super low and then one that's super high, and that's why.
That's right. Do they typically take the middle? How do they do that normally? Are they balance them out?
There's the three repositories, the Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So each of those is going to report. And typically, like if Capital One gives me my score, they're going to tell me which one it's from.
Got it.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Great thoughts there. If you have any other questions on credit scores, reach out to Denise. Her contact info will be below. And who are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about somebody, because we like to connect people on this show.
Well, when I think of this person, I think of maybe the one bad thing about Florida, if there is one. One thing.
What is it?
Bugs.
Bugs. Now, this guy we're going to talk about today, he takes your guest and treats them like he takes your pest and treats them like unwanted guests. I think that's his tagline.
And gives them the boot. That's
you guys know who we're talking about? We are talking about the famous Clark Stroder here in Southwest Florida. Clark services everybody from Marco Island all the way up. I think he's even gone to like Lake Okeechobee, some crazy area.
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
I don't know either. But anyways, hey, Clark takes care of my home. We love the fact that we are any pest we ever see in our house, whether it's, I hate to say it, but yeah, every once in a while roaches. But normally we get ants. We get those little stupid sugar ants from time to time. Clark comes in, boom, bada boom, bada bing, waves his wand. Gone.
He takes care of them. Him and his team at Definitive Pest Control are unbelievable.
If you need his info, he's going to be on the screen somewhere, and also below. Clark is fantastic.
Yes.
He's been in business for quite a while. He is a awesome entrepreneur here in town. Super awesome at giving back to the community as well. We love Clark a ton. Clark, we love you, buddy.
Yeah, want to connect. It's important.
It is. But Clark, if you're watching this, subscribe to our channel, because I don't think you've done that yet.
Right?
So I'm going to call you out on that. So go ahead and do that. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much it for today. But before you go, like for Lulu one more time. We got to get our subscription up. We're going to hit that 200 mark here pretty quick. So go ahead and do that real fast. When we hit the 200, Denise is going to do a little jig, a little dance of some sort. If we hit it by, what did we say last week?
St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patty's Day. When is St. Patty's Day?
March 17th.
March 17th, coming up. So this will air on March 17th.
This will air on March 17th. So I guess it will be
we'll let you know next week.
St. Patty's Day jig.
It will be. All right, guys. Enjoy. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.